Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I'm Rebecca Victoria, and welcome back to Rebecca Victoria Studios. I'm so glad that you're here today. In the background of this episode today, I'm going to be painting this new painting that I've been working on. It's of a floral scene, and it has come from my imagination. I've looked at a few references for the painting of the flowers and for the shape of the flowers, but a lot of it's really come from my mind, my imagination, my intuition, and I've been painting quite differently lately, trying to learn how to tap into my imagination, my subconscious, and trying to find my real, true, authentic voice in my artwork. And I really feel like I am getting somewhere, and I am just loving the process. It is really lighting me up and exciting me. And I wish that I had more time to paint right now so that I could really get my hands deep into this. But I am loving as much time as I do have, and it is really exciting me. I don't have a title yet for this artwork, but I wrote a poem to go alongside with it, so I'm wondering if maybe that'll end up being the title in the long run. But we will see. Stay tuned on that. Today I wanted to dive into something that kind of coincides with what I was just talking about with this artwork. And I think everybody has really struggled with this at some point, and that is figuring out what it means to be truly authentic in both life and in art. Whether you're an artist or just someone wanting to live with more honesty and intention and find authenticity in your work and in your life can be such a powerful journey. And this is a path I've been on for the last 5 years or so, where I've been really struggling and grappling with what I want to create and what I want to see in this world and what I truly enjoy and love and where I find beauty. So first things first, I want to ask you these questions. How do you know when you're being your authentic self? And what does your authentic self really look like? And how can you uncover your authentic style as an artist? I've put together 5 tips in this episode to help you explore and discover what authenticity means for you, both on your canvas and in your day-to-day life. When exploring and finding your authentic self and voice, you inevitably find your artistic style, and this is very much a real thing. Although it's not as elusive or mystical as it might sound, and as I used to think that it was. Developing a personal style is more about discovering what resonates deeply with you as an artist and as a person. Your unique voice, the themes that you want to talk about, the colors that you want to see in the world, the techniques you love using, and even the subject matter that feels authentic. It's a gradual process of exploration, experimentation, and reflection, and looking at others' work for inspiration. And this often happens over time through consistent practice. The idea is not necessarily about finding a fixed style that you might have to rigidly do until you stop making artwork or die, but allowing your unique perspective to shine through in ways that feel true to you. By creating regularly and experimenting with different mediums and following your natural preferences and inclinations and following your intuition, a recognizable style often begins to emerge, and this should be really authentic to who you really want to be and who you really are. It's also key for this style to evolve, reflecting changes in your skills, your interests, your personal growth as an artist and in life. If your style doesn't feel unique, especially in the beginning stages of your art career, I want you to trust me on this when I'm saying that this is extremely common. There have been many times where I think I have figured out my voice and what I want to say, and then something happens. Often it's been a really major shift in my life, like birthing a child or a death of a person who is close to me, and that really throws me off and recalibrates me, and then I realize there could be some changes, or in some cases, there have been some really drastic shifts away from what I've always created and painted. I want you to know you're not alone in this. This is realistically a lifelong pursuit and not something you just have to figure out. If you're an artist and you have felt this way, I welcome you to comment your story down below for these people to read and understand how universal this feeling really is. I would really love to read them, and I truly know everyone else would too. Community comes in sharing our experiences together, and this is how we can rise each other up. It is my experience that many artists feel this way, and they're developing and honing their voice. Their style often emerges as a blend of influences, what you admire in other artists, the techniques you're practicing, and what comes naturally when you create, and the things that are going on in your life and reality that are affecting you and your themes you're exploring. Over time, as you create, your preferences and personality start to filter through, making your work feel more uniquely yours. And sometimes we can focus so much on trying to have uniqueness that this can add unnecessary pressure on ourselves. Instead, consider focusing on what interests you or feels enjoyable, whether it's certain colors or themes or techniques, and realize it's good to have external influences that show you things and ways of working that you may have taken a longer time to figure out on your own. Just leaning into what feels good to make, even if it feels familiar or unoriginal, tends to lead to something more personal and more meaningful, and your audience will understand and feel this. Also remember that even small, subtle changes to your work, how you apply your paint or the sense of light and shadow or your approach to details, are already part of your unique touch. And even if this doesn't stand out right away, your style will grow organically from these over time. So try to enjoy the process rather than worrying about the uniqueness and adding that unnecessary pressure on yourselves. Anyway, I digress. So let's get into the 5 tips now. Tip number 1 is to follow your joy. Ask yourself what brings you genuine joy. Think about these moments when you lose track of time, when you're in complete flow. These are hints towards your true self. In art, this may look like exploring colors or textures that feel energizing or just exciting to you, or they may be calming to you, or the medium you use or how you apply it. In life, notice the moments that make you feel alive. It is a simple but true fact that authenticity is often rooted in joy. Tip number 2 is embrace imperfections. Authenticity isn't about being perfect. All it is about is being honest with yourself and with the world around you. Let yourself make mistakes and keep these imperfections. In art, I found that leaving these quote-unquote flaws makes the final piece more real, more me. I've spoken about my graveyard of works before, and that these are the works that never made it through to fruition. And this is a good thing. Hang these works on your walls in your studio or in your house and remind yourself that it is good because you are pushing your boundaries. And yes, in these works that I have, I failed by my own standard, but who the hell cares? So try to embrace your quirks and your so-called mistakes. They are a huge part of what makes your art and your life unique. Tip number 3 is listen to your intuition. Authenticity is all about your inner guidance. Your intuition often knows what's right for you before your mind even does. As an artist, listen to that gut feeling when you're choosing what to create. Ask yourself simple yes or no statements that you know are true or false, and see what it feels like in your body. Then ask yourself yes or no questions for your art again and watch for that yes or no feeling. This can help you train your brain how to understand your intuition in your body and trust this as your truth. In both life and art, allow yourself to follow these nudges, even when they feel risky or unconventional. Tip number 4 is discover your why. Ask yourself, why are you creating art? Why do you want to be authentic? And why do you want to have an art business? And for me, why am I creating these videos for this YouTube channel? When you know your why behind what you do, it grounds you in your own truth. Whether it's to express emotion, share a message, or simply create for the joy of creating, knowing your why will guide you towards a style that feels like you. And the last tip, tip number 5, is honor your own pace. Today, I am giving you permission to let yourself go at your own pace. Don't rush the process of discovering who you are, either in life or in art. Sometimes authenticity takes time and requires stillness. So give yourself that permission to slow down, reflect, and grow. Don't get caught up in the rat race or hustle culture. Do things on your own timeline, in your own way, and that works for you. If you're trying to create a life, but your reality doesn't even in any small way reflect that, and reflect what you want your life to look like, you will never manifest this into reality. So figure out what you want slowly, without pressure, and one step at a time. Slot this into your reality, and then that is acting as if. So these are my 5 tips for finding authenticity in life and in art. And I want to come back to those questions that I posed to you at the beginning. So number 1 was, how do you know when you're being your authentic self? What does being your authentic self feel like? And how can you uncover your authentic style as an artist? And I encourage you to really think about your answers. You may even want to use these as journal prompts, and I have before in the past, and I found them extremely helpful. So actually, I'll leave them below in the notes, and then if you'd like to do that and you think that would be beneficial for you, that is where you'll be able to find them. I know that it's not easy, it's not a straightforward journey, but even if implementing one of these things brings you closer to understanding who you are and what you're here to create, isn't that progress in the right direction? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. What helps you feel most like your true self? And remember to share your stories for others to read below if you've struggled with finding your authentic and unique art style. Unfortunately, I didn't quite get to the end of the painting in this video, but if you would like to continue watching the process, it will be playing in the next video that I release. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you so much. Please subscribe to follow along for more. Much love, and as always, remember today is a great day to go and make some art. Bye.